golf has always been a fairly central component of my life. There are actually pictures of me with clubs in my hand at age 2. Golf was a big sport for my family and my father in particular, so I was introduced to it at a very young age. And it's always been something I've had a great passion for and love for. How I actually ended up in the design business is a little bit of an interesting story, in that I went away to school to Brown University up in Providence, Rhode Island. And Brown is a place that you don't really have to declare what you're going to study till you've been there for a couple of years. And it was getting time where I needed to make a decision, make a commitment as to what I was going to study. And I had this huge debate raging in my head of, do I study physics or science, or I do something creative like art? And so I was, really had some problems with being coherent. But I literally woke up one morning with this epiphany of, wait a minute, what about golf course design? That's sort of technical and engineering, yet artistic and creative, and golf was a big passion of mine, or remained a passion of mine. I played on the NCAA golf powerhouse Brown University Bears golf team. And all of a sudden this just seemed like this was perfect. And right across the street from Brown was the Rhode Island School of Design, and they had a landscape architecture program, and as a Brown student we were able to go take coursework there. So it just almost seemed like this sort of fated thing, and so I started to explore that. And probably the really key thing that has brought me to this industry was that Tom Fazio, the great golf course architect, was building a golf course in my hometown of Greenville, South Carolina at this same time. And my father was one of the partners in the ownership of this project that Tom was designing. So I started calling Tom and asking him, how does one become a golf course designer? And he basically had to answer my phone call because I was the son of a client. And that ultimately led to me coming down and spending some time with him and talking through lots of detail about golf course design. And that ultimately led to me taking a summer job, where he was kind enough to offer me a summer job to learn more about this industry of golf course design. So I did that all throughout college, and it was something that I really, really enjoyed, because it merged all these different interests that I had and passions that I had. And I really, for a while there, thought that this is exactly what I'm going to go do when I graduate. But I ended up sort of wondering, I had a brief moment of pause, a little bit of a downturn in the economy as I was graduating from college. And so I went on another path for a bit. I went back to business school and actually got out and was involved in corporate finance for a while. But Tom Fazio was always somebody that I stayed in touch with. Wonderful man, opinionated guy. Always felt like he was somebody I could learn a lot from. And so we would correspond through the years. And one day he rang me and ended up offering me a job that I really just couldn't refuse. And so I went to work for Tom, helping him manage his company and deal with lots of wonderful, great projects. And I really feel like I learned the trade of golf course design from him and from his staff, who to this day I think are some of the best people in the business. So I feel very, very fortunate to have had the training that I had, both at RISD in terms of more traditional landscape architecture, as well as this hands-on experience with Tom Fazio and his team. In late 2006, I decided to take the plunge and start my own firm, and then here we are, nearly 6 or 7 years later, and here we have a wonderful, great team here at Beau Design.